I love it. No, 21 itself would not be. Anything less than 21.
So like
would.
20.9.
Yes.
Would be enough.
Yes. Which would be a really weird test grade to get, but yes. Yes.
So the 1.5, is that just kind of a rule of thumb?
Rule of thumb, and it's based on. So a lot of what we do in statistics is based on letting simulations run on a computer like insane amounts, and then saying 1.5. 1.5 is actually more like a definition, to be honest.
So you just gotta put the 1.5.
Yeah, and again, I think I said this earlier, I'm not going to make a huge deal out of this, but I want to lay the groundwork, because what I will make a huge deal out of is coming, and is kind of based on this type of idea. Something that's so many steps away from something else. Well, how big is each step? Well, for percentiles, it's 1.5 times the IQR. That's how big each step is.
So the IQR is 18.
Yeah, the IQR is 18.
Q3 minus Q1.
Yes.
Always. Okay.
And then 1.5 times that is how far you go out to figure out where the real weirdos are.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you multiply 1.5 times 18.
And that's how we got 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. Okay, okay. You guys are
Question.
yes.
So how do you know if, because you did 66 plus 27, how do you know when to add and then when to subtract?
So to get the abnormally low ones, you're going to subtract. To get the abnormally high ones, you're going to add.
Oh, okay, okay.
So many steps below Q1, so subtract. So many steps above Q3, so add. Yeah.
Oh, we were going to get something like this, and you asked us to find some outliers.
No, in the homework you might. But I will tell you right now, I'm not going to quiz or test you on
So that's
this.
just good to know for now.
Good to know in general. I like it. So good knowledge goes beyond what I test you on. I really hope people understand that, right? Yes? Oh, yeah, somebody else asked that question. It's officially below this. Yeah. Yeah. This is where unusual kind of begins, is below that. It's sort of like when the people not able to drink below 21, or at least, legally. Okay. Yes?
So when I was looking at Canvas from my previous terms, what you just drew kind of looks like that in grades.
Oh, yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so a lot of grades are shown in this kind of percentile format, the box plot. Yeah, the box and whisker. I like it. You see a ton of stuff, to be honest. You guys might not have run into it yet. But this is almost always, and very often you'll see it instead like this way. So you see this a lot in science when you're doing measurements and you want to kind of say my error based on my measurements of something could be this big, whereas this one I'm more sure of, right? That's how much my error could be.
Is it the same with like stocks as well? With like the candlesticks?
Oh yeah, God.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do all. Yeah, this is kind of like a first step analysis of set of data, just to see if there's something interesting you go deeper with, right? So if you add this and you add another one and you're like, whoa, those are really different. Let's see why. Then you got to set up more complicated, advanced statistical tests between the two. But this would just be a surface level. What does it look like? Well, those are really different. Why? I don't know. Let's go set up an experiment and feed these people this and see why it's different. Yeah. Yes.
Since you were talking about Barker, which is talking about the grades, is this how people like earn the grades?
Not yet. This, not this one, the paranormal distribution, but the normal distribution is going to be, it's kind of like this. So if I put a normal curve, do you see how this would be like this? See how those are related? A big chunk of it's in the middle, and then there's some on the outside. So they do have a relationship, right? But this one is a little more specific than this. So we'll see that later. Yeah.
I think your camera's out of focus.
Poor little dude. Oh, it's, yeah. There he goes. Thank you. That's going to be an exciting first part. You're all going to be like, what's wrong with my eyes? Okay. So I want to go back. Let me do an example that shows what to do if you have repeats in your 5 number summary, because that's going to happen to you in the homework, if I remember correctly. So let me just make, I'm not even going to put the data down. Let's say we know this. The low is 4, Q1 is 4, Q2 is 6, Q3 is 9, and the high is 9. So let's say, so that's a nice scale for that data. So let's just go through the process. Let's see. Let me just use the exact same process we did before, and when I run into a problem, we'll worry about it then. So put a line for the lowest one. Put a line for the O. Okay, I did, right? Are you with me? So I put a line for that one. I put a line for that one. It's already there. Put a line for Q2. Put a line for Q3. And put a line, oh. And then what's the next step? Is everybody cool with what happened just now? There's not really just 3 lines, there's 5, just 2 pairs of them lie on top of each other. What's the next step now? Box what? This, and this, right? And in this case, it's going to be like that. Kind of funky, right? But I mean, if there are repeats, that is what's going to happen. So you could have a problem that looks like this, where the Q2 is one of these 2 sides. Do you see that's why it doesn't show up? Because it's already one of these 2. I think the book puts like a dotted line for the one that kind of repeats, but that's not necessary. Really. It's not a bad idea, to be honest. Yes? That's why the book, I kind of like this isn't really just a normal thing, but I like the book making the suggestion to make that dotted. So then you know that that's Q1, that is both Q2 and Q3. Sorry, this is low, Q1, Q2. That's Q3, that's the high. You guys with me? So they put the dotted line. So here, these 2 would be dotted because that's where they overlap. Yeah, you might as well. It actually makes sense because you're right. That kind of alleviates any extra writing to explain shit. Yeah. So you will see something like that where you do have repeats, but that's all you do. The process actually doesn't change. You just draw a line on top of itself. But I like the book's suggestion to make it dot. All right, how we doing? I love it. Beautiful question because I always forget to say that. And then the homework happens, you're like, what the shit? Okay. So, here. All right, let me shut up for a while. That sounds like a really great thing. I've got, believe it or not,